Welcome to Cybertron Pre-War, The Road to Chaos, number 22 and 23. I'll introduce you to who's going to be taking you through this journey. We got the superstar man down here, M3 Reviews. We got Carl Ramrod down there. Did you say meow? Did you say meow? And we got, obviously, me, Pat, and we got the man over here, Briac 45, King of Lore.
It's all backwards. It's over here, here, and here. Yeah, it's everywhere.
The double.
All right. Roll the tape. We will not roll the tape.
That's fine. We can stop with it ripping the guy's head off right there.
Okay. Yeah, shout out Sardo. That was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. We are not starting out rolling the tape, so fuck it. All right. So, gentlemen, you want to lead them in while I'm bringing the comics up?
Sure. So, there's actually a reason we're going to cover this specific section of number 22 and 23 of Transformers Road to Chaos, because we're getting ready to cover Autocracy, and it refers back to Chaos Theory, or Road to Chaos. And all the events we're covering tonight is just certain panels from those two comics, and they happen before Megatron Origin, before all of our story started. So if you're just joining us for this episode, or you've watched previous episodes, know that these particular shots are just important to know because of Autocracy, and Autocracy was written as a flashback from later comics.
All right. So with that being said, we are starting off with issue 22 of The Road to Chaos. Here's our cover checklist, and that is one hell of a good cover, a set of good covers right there. Love those covers.
You want to do the shout outs?
Very top.
It's right at the top there.
Yeah, my bad. Okay. So get with it, damn it. My bad. All right, written by James Roberts, art by Alex Milne, colors by Joanne LaFuente, letters by Sean Lee, assistant editor Carlos Guzman, editor Andy Schmidt. Okay. All right, so here's where we're going to fire it right off. Cybertron before the war.
Yep, bustling metropolis.
Yes. So, Briac, it looks like Megatron and Impactor, looks like they knew each other pretty well before Megatron Origins and his early days here.
Look like they're hanging out at the local Energon shop.
Yep. They didn't cover this a lot in Megatron Origin because Megatron Origin was written so long before. But before Megatron Origin, when Megatron essentially snapped and put his plans into action, he was writing Nominus Prime and the Illusions of Progress, and basically a memoir type book talking about functionism, the way of government, how it doesn't work, and a better way, a more inclusive way that people could live their lives and not be tied to strictly how they were built. He dreamed of a better world, and he's sharing those ideas with all his minor buddies, one of them being Impactor.
Yeah, how different of character does, like, when I read this for the first time, because I hadn't gotten this far originally, I hadn't got to the Road to Chaos or Chaos Theory, when he says, Megatron says, no, it's more of a treat, I don't know what that word is, treaty?
Treaty.
treaty. God,
Yeah.
I need to go back to fucking school. Treaty on the state of Cybertronian society. I started writing it after those protesters were shot. So Impactor is kind of the aggressor, the brute, and you get to see that even more here as they're talking. Megatron's wanting to resolve conflict a different way, and Impactor's wanting to do it by force.
Yep.
Like he says, this planet is diseased, Impactor, and that's the cure. Nonviolent direct action? Why don't we just round up a few hundred of our fellow miners, break out the path blasters, and take the Senate by force? Because the revolution will be about ideas. Taking a new step, uttering a new word. That's what the ruling elite fears the most. Violence solves nothing. Dude, when you hear that, what do you think? I'm like, wow, what?
That's not the
Philosopher.
Megatron I know.
Megatron's a philosopher.
Hey, go ahead, Renrod.
I said, I'm just saying that's not the Megatron I know.
Right,
It's really different.
So Impactor,
Megatron, 'cause he's my favorite.
I wonder if Impactor, when he was a little bit younger, if he was a little bit more softer as Megatron's just coming into this, whereas Impactor is the influencer here.
Maybe. Yeah. Because there's more on Impactor later on. They give him a little bit of spotlight stuff, not spotlight issues, but just spotlight in, basically the Wreckers and what his role is there.
That's right.
But yeah, back here, Impactor is every bit of the hothead that you think he is. But by no means is he really stirring up anything more than what we're about to see.
Yeah, he has a very Ironhide type persona to me.
Yep. Very much.
Let's see.
Ah, yes. I see that. Sorry.
We have a little situation going on here because they're in the bar, obviously, and I guess there's a little disturbance over here about Rung spilling something on one of these. Who are these guys? They're like, are they with the Senate?
I don't think it actually says who they are. They're probably just regular bar people. Obviously, they're bigger, rougher guys. But yeah, Rung spilt a drink on them, and they're being assholes.
Yeah, like he's got some balls because Rung's like, my name's not Runt, it's Rung. I'll buy you another, but I'm not sorting out the mess. I'm not a service droid. And look how small he is compared to those guys.
Yep. And notice he fits into the functionism. I'm not cleaning up the mess, even though he made it. I'm not a service droid. So notice there's droids, and then there's Cybertronians. So there are more automated, mindless robots on the planet called droids.
Yeah. So a lot of these things are just very similar to the world we live in. So right here it says, you seem to have forgotten your place in the natural order of things. So why don't you get down on your knees while you still have knees and stay there until my friend and I have finished the 10 drinks you're going to buy us? What do you say? Do we have an understanding? This is all going on while Impactor and Megatron are talking.
That particular thing you just said there, Pac, it leads me to believe that since Rung, we know, is actually a psychiatrist, him saying he forgot his place and he's making him serve the other one, I bet you the other two are like guards of the Senate or something.
They had Senate emblems on them.
They're higher. Yeah, they're higher in society.
Yeah. Right here, I want to go ahead and anytime you see that symbol right there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is this one of the first times we've seen the mention of Knights of Cybertron? Or have we seen that before?
I think it's the
Didn't
first.
they mention it one time in Spotlight or Ryan Pax? It wasn't Megatron Origin because that idea wasn't thought of then. But essentially, yeah. I mean, somewhere they mentioned that the Knights of Cybertron had left, and I thought it was Orion Pax that said it. Yeah, it was. It was because he was saying they're more. It was him and with Alpha Trion, and they were reminiscing about stuff because Alpha Trion's been around a long time, about Metroplex and stuff, and he thought Metroplex was just a legend. He's like, no, he was very real. We used to explore the planet together. But he also mentioned something about the Knights of Cybertron being legend at then, and they had left a long time ago with all the other Titan bots.
Oh yeah, it was during that time. I thought that maybe. So while that's going on, Impactor and Megatron still having a conversation. Look, Megatron, I hate the ruling elite as much as you do, but inequality is a way of life. Put two people in a room, one will always try to assert himself over the other. Now apply that to the whole of society. Megatron says, so what's the answer? Accept our lot? Spend our surface time getting tanked up on low-grade inner, and that's when rum gets tossed right on their table. And Impactor's pissed. So he's up and at it. Wait, what are you going to say to them? I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to do what I always do in these situations and think with my fist. Look at that shot.
Someone's going to get the drills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we were just talking about that. Oh, sidebar.
Futurama. And get the clamps.
Megatron, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Megaton, is it? Tron. Megatron. Right, as an electron? Got you. And it's Megatron of Tarn.
Wait.
Yeah, as we all know, Marcos, I don't know if you know. Go ahead and ask. I'll let you ask. Go ahead.
Somebody was talking shit to Megatron.
Yeah.
Well,
Fuck
remember,
you.
Yeah, they're
Fuck
going
him.
to.
he's peaceful. They just got arrested because of that bar fight.
Yep.
So
They blame them, and why do you think they blame them for the fight? Because they're,
The
in
other
their
guys are
eyes,
cadets.
meaningless workers.
mhm.
Fuck
They're
them.
expendable.
And the
I'm
other
gonna
guys
jump
were
in this comment.
cadets.
All right, I'll retract.
But he says he's from Tarn. We all know that later on the DJD are named after Decepticon city establishments. Are all of them? Wait a minute. Are all of them named after Decepticon establishments?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ah, yes. We are here. Oh, hold on. Ah, yes. Here we are. Function. Manual labor. Creation date. First cycle 012. Serial number 071-980. That's weird. No batch code? Were you forged or constructed cold? How is that relevant? Thought we'd moved beyond.
Apartheid.
It must be an old question. Ignore it. Looks like this is your first offense, Megatron of. Yeah, I tell you so wrong. Your first offense, Megatron of Tarn. You've not charged me with anything yet. I'm entitled to legal counsel and communicate. Someone's dealing with all that. They'll be along shortly.
Notice
Where's
Megatron seems to kind of know a little bit of law and his rights.
Yeah. It seems to be that he's not just a brute. Like, we all know he is the leader of the Decepticons, and he's very strong, but he's also smart. But we didn't know we should have known he was this smart because he's that good. I say the only reason he never really wins is because Optimus is just as smart as him, but Optimus is a little more clear-headed than he is. Or could just come down to the Matrix. I think anybody else other than Optimus and Megatron keeps defeating him. So he's wondering where Impactor is. Your friend with the hand? He's at the DMF, Delatran Medical Facility. But at least he can still walk, unlike those cadets you two roughed up. I didn't mean I wasn't. Are they going to be all right? Let's hope so for your sake. Spring Arm, I'll take it from here, and Whirl walks in.
So Spring Arm is the first motorcycle.
think we'll see him.
The guy that was reading the rights.
Yeah, okay. That becomes important later. So kind of give me a little something about how was Worrell, because Worrell seems like kind of an asshole.
That's the way I always pegged him.
So Worrell is a
Yeah.
police officer, and he gets away with dirty shit, and the Senate lets him as long as he does what the Senate tells him. There is a lot of backstory to Worrell where you find out how he's kind of gotten himself locked into this situation, because he's not necessarily doing it all by choice, but it's the choices he's been given are kind of fun.
So yeah, Worrell's talking mad shit to Megatron right here. And I do believe he knocks him out. Yes, he does.
And if I was there, Megatron.
Yeah. So is this Spring Arm that walks in, or that's
Yeah.
not Spring Arm, is it?
Yeah, that's Spring Arm.
Okay. Spring Arm walks in and says, "What the hell are you doing? Turn around and walk away, Spring Arm. You didn't see this. He's being set free, Captain's orders." Geez, Worrell, what have you done? So yeah, Worrell's operating outside of parameters, guidelines, rules.
Does Worrell and Megatron become affiliates later or never?
Never.
Because after, do they attribute after that fucking scene, or because they split off and the storyline never comes back?
Yeah, it kind of splits off, but Worrell mouths off quite a bit later on. Like
Yeah.
Worrell always talks about being able to take some of the biggest, baddest bots if he'd ever cross paths with them.
Yeah, that scene where yeah, that's referred to a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like moments later, where are we at here? What Captain played?
So he's being walked into the captain's office, which is where Pax is sitting. He is the captain.
Pax
Oh, yeah,
is the
yeah.
captain. Oh, all right. So Pax is the captain. Okay, and that's who's setting him free.
Yep.
So we're going to do that. We're going to start summarizing a little bit more, but some of these points are very important because this sets up how Megatron used to be. He's still in there, but he changes. But this sets up how these two interacted before we even read Megatron Origins. Here he is, sir. You must mean Megaton. It's a Megatron, sir. Tron. Ah, as in electronic? This is yours. I couldn't help reading. I hope you don't mind. I got to the bit about using pacifist rhetoric to facilitate political reform, and I thought, this doesn't sound like that kind of Cybertronian who'd rip the legs off of two cadets and feed them into a trash compactor. I don't agree with everything you've written, but at least you're articulating your concerns. At least you're doing something. Keep it up.
So Pax has read up on him. He likes what he's reading because Megatron's obviously smart. Getting his thoughts and changes that he desires down in a non-violent way. A little side note, the reason they've referred to Megatron twice as Megaton is when they first did the toys way back in 83, 84, they initially were going to name Megatron's toy Megaton, and they just didn't think it was powerful enough for the leader of the bad guys.
I would agree. Excuse me just a second. Sorry about that. So basically they're setting him free, go about your way. So Megatron looks at his, what do you call this? It's like a book. It's like it's like a data pad with his writings, his thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we see him start to get pretty frustrated here, and he just tosses it. He just discards it. And if you notice something right here, do you see the Decepticon symbol?
Yep.
It's a kind of just a little bit of an Easter egg like throw in there. You can see kind of the shape of it. So
I
this
like
is
that Megatron. I would love to have a toy of that.
Yeah, shout out IDW for this one because this is 100% the one that I've definitely read, and the whole thing with choosing a side of what are you going to be, Marcos? You going to be an Autobot or Decepticon? This fucking story right here is the one that changed, where I was like, oh, I'm going to be a Decepticon because it goes with all the autocracy that you guys are talking about, and all how the Autobots are this elite fucking thing and trying to keep everybody fucking down, but yet Megatron's like, fuck you, fuck everything. And this is where he starts to do that fucking mental transition of, I see how it's going.
Exactly. This is
Exactly.
the original Decepticon, how it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Before he strayed.
Tight.
Yeah. We also have to understand something here because this is the end of number 22. We see him walking off because number 23 is more, in my opinion, is more about Pax than it is Megatron.
Right.
So this is where we see the end of this one. The next thing we know about Megatron is they pull him from the mining moon.
Mm-hmm.
The moon where they're mining.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next time we see him. I don't think we see him in number 23 again.
No, the next time we would see him in the continuity would be Megatron Origins.
So I want to make sure that everybody in the audience did understand that and how the story is going to read. So Megatron's early story, the rest of it will take place with the Megatron Origins. If you did miss that, go back and check that out. But I like to keep that in context so you kind of know where he's heading off to. So we're going to go right into 23, continue on the road, because it's just this flashback just covers these two. So, like I said, you just can't beat the art.
That's great.
Insane.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have let Milne draw the whole thing. But man, Milne's great at doing all this artwork for like the brighter, more promising parts of Cybertron and like the upbeat stuff. I kind of wonder, of course, that comes down to coloring too. Joanna LaFuente, did a good job on the coloring with these. I kind of wonder the people that colored Autocracy and made it real dark and inky. I wonder what these would look like if they were, if the Alex Milne was the art and the colors were real dark and inky.
Same drawings, just dark.
Well,
because the actual drawings are completely different. They actually seem a shade sloppy to me in Autocracy.
Right, they're supposed to be rough edged.
Yeah,
I kind of wonder what they would look like had Alex Milne drawn them, but they were dark, still dark colors and everything. And I don't know if they would actually look as good as being rough edged.
Okay. Well, 23 has more to it than the last one, and we took a little bit on that one. So if we have to summarize a little bit, y'all, make sure you just go ahead and read some of these panels. But issue 23, written by James Roberts, art by Alex Milne, colors by Joanne LaFuente, letters by Sean Lee, editor Carlos Guzman. Same exact people. Some people don't take that for granted because sometimes the people change, like right in the middle of a comic. They will change somebody, and you'd be like, whoa. So it's good to see these two issues having that kind of chemistry, that same flow from the same creators. And there's our go ahead.
He looks pretty badass, I gotta admit.
Yeah. Got the Optimus on the left, Orion Pax on the right. Notice the face really doesn't change a lot. A little bit of the helmet details and the shoulders do.
Just a little bit, man. Barely. Jeez.
All right. Before the war, Megatron was a political activist who worked in the Energon mines and dreamed of peaceful revolution. But after being wrongfully arrested and beaten up in his cell, his sense of injustice and powerlessness made him realize that a more forceful approach was required. He was released by Optimus Prime, then known as Orion Pax, a newly appointed police captain who was impressed by Megatron's earnest political writings. Okay, so we don't need to read the rest of that because that does not pertain right now. Sorry about that. Hold on. Just so we know, These were written in the summer of 2011. This one, August 2011.
Yep. We'll get to them. They're about 100 comics away
Yeah.
or more.
All right, so we're going to do our best to summarize this one because there's a lot in here. I almost feel like this is its own deal and it could have its own show. But, all right.
Yeah, can you imagine if they did a cartoon series that was for, like, the older fans, that was this stuff? Like, real serious tone.
They need to.
Maybe even R-rated.
They fucking need to. I don't know why they do it. That's why I'm fucking glad that Pack and y'all are doing this. It's fucking awesome. It's like having a cartoon series and I get to watch it. It's awesome.
Yep. And you get to read it over and over again if you want.
It's always there.
Don't have to pay a streaming service for it. You just
Hey,
buy the books.
I'm going to bring us
is that Transistor?
Transistor.
KFC Transistor.
It's KFC Transistor.
Kentucky
That's
Fried
Blaster.
Circuits.
Yep.
That's sick. I didn't know he was. I've never seen him in this.
Oh. All right, so what we got going on here? I do have some questions. This is the Iconian newsfeed service bringing you coverage of the morning's terrorist attack on the Primal Procession. Nominus Prime's fate remains unknown after a member of the 20,000-strong crowd blew himself up while running toward the Matrix Bearer. Okay, I'm telling you, there's a lot in this. Nominus Prime.
Yep.
This is the first we're hearing of Nominus Prime in the story.
Yep.
We saw Sentinel Prime. We saw Zeta Prime.
Yep.
Work me in Nominus Prime here. He was before Sentinel, correct?
Right. So you got Nominus. This is coming in at the end of Nominus's death. They don't cover a lot more about Nominus besides he was killed and Sentinel comes after him. We see the happenings of Megatron Origin, where obviously Megatron kills Sentinel, and that's what leads into Zeta Prime and into Autocracy.
So there's some kind of big freaking battle that took place.
Yeah. Obviously, people weren't happy because they went after Nominus Prime.
Okay, so we see Blaster and Pax having some rhetoric here. And while we wait for an update on Nominus Prime's condition, the Senate has denied rumors that the suicide bomber released Corrodia gravis or some other rusting agent into the air. Oh, some kind of biological weapon, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a picture of Nominus in the background. I know we were off air. We were talking earlier about who that was, but that is Nominus Prime.
He's a
pretty
Prime.
cool. He looks
Yeah,
pretty
he looks
cool.
kind of like Diatlas. He, if I remember correctly, he had a jet mode like Diatlas also.
Huh.
But I thought it was Pius Maximus, but that is Nominus Prime.
Okay, I think that's the only time we see him. I could be wrong, but I think
Besides
that is.
in another issue where we see his dead body, like in the cathedral, that's pretty much all we're going to see of him.
So have you covered beyond this point, Ramrod?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have to make sure you're awake there, sir. We ain't got a good Ramrod content.
Ramrod.
Get some maple syrup.
You got your little Autobot cookies here.
Yep.
I was just gonna say, are those Autobot cookies? They've got.
That's what I see every time.
No.
No one has come forward, although the fact that the bomber switched to alt mode suggests it is not the work of Triple M. Hold on a second.
That's
Triple M.
Militant Monoform Movement. Those are the Transformers that have taken their transformation cog out as a revolution or revolt against functionism, because if you can't transform into your alt mode, you don't have a function.
Do you become homeless at that point? Like you lose all criteria for being a race of those beings, so you're shunned upon and you're looked at like you can't go to the grocery store, you have no money, right?
Yeah,
It's worse than that.
No shit. Yeah.
When you cease to be useful for the good of the world, you are put back into the world, recycled.
Huh. That makes sense.
Like I said, there's a lot of people standing up against, as we've seen in several issues back, about the corruption and the stereotypical expendable. Well, I want to say the expendable mentality that the upper class has toward the workers.
Yep. Can you imagine being like a construction worker or a steel worker, being born, being taught that you're going to do that since the age of, say, maybe 10 years old, and you're hauling bolts and buckets, and you know at the age of 40, you're going to be killed because society's, your back's old and worn out.
So you're
can't
done.
do much more, and you're done.
Recycle.
And the rest of society's not going to carry you.
Yeah, got to be recycled.
That's what the
Yeah.
miners are facing.
No. Sorry to cut you off, Blaster. Sorry about that. Sorry to cut you off, Blaster, but we're receiving reports that the matrix flame is flickering. Wait a moment, it's flickering, but it has not gone out, which would suggest that Nominus Prime is still alive, albeit seriously injured.
Is that like a Pope thing?
What?
Is that kind of like a Pope thing? The light, they're talking
So,
about.
yeah, you gotta. So, all the primes, they're supposed to carry the matrix. The matrix sits in their chest, which is near their spark chamber, and has the light or the flicker. It's on, represents whether they're still alive or not. Kind of like in the old '86 movie, I don't know if they actually said it in the '86 movie. I don't remember. I don't think they did. But if you die and the matrix is still left within you, and left by itself, it may die out, which none of that really holds because the matrix survives out of body all the time.
Yeah, they didn't say that in 80. I just watched the 86.
Yeah. I forget where that lore came from, but it was suggested that the matrix has to be passed on for it to live.
Oh, okay.
That's not the case in this continuity.
Did any of you guys see this before? I didn't zoom on before till now. Commendation for valor, commendation for merit, commendation for bravery.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
And what do those other trophies say? Something Orion Pax.
What other
first in
trophies?
Class.
Which ones?
Right there in the center. See how they've got wording?
Oh, yeah.
Something first in class.
No, in the middle.
The gold trophies.
Left and down.
Oh, okay. We got
Yeah.
for
science and technology.
Damn.
Is Orion Pax, the Icon Academy of Science and Technology. Dang.
Another one for Orion.
First in class.
Icon, first in class.
Oh.
So Orion Pax comes from a very different place in the world. He's very educated. He is considered maybe not necessarily the upper crust, but he's seen in a good light by the upper crust because he was allowed to be educated and become a captain of the police force, who obviously serves the upper crust.
Yeah, whereas Megatron is more street sense. He is very smart, and he can articulate himself, but he has a lot of street sense.
Yep.
All right, so the whole deal here is they're trying to find out whether or not Nominus Prime has survived him or not.
Yep.
So look, check these guys out. These guys are pretty freaking cool. This dude here, man.
Yeah, he looks like a heavy built vehicle with two wheels of some sort.
He's a submarine.
He
Guy on the left. He just looks like that. I don't know. I have no clue.
looks like Cybertron. So yeah.
I don't know why he puts me in the mind of something you'd see in Stormbringer.
It almost looks like that thing on his, like he would transform into a cannon with that thing on his back.
That thing on his back, yeah.
Okay, 1 second. I like what you've done with the place and that trophy cabinet. Very impressive. Who's speaking to him?
I don't know if they ever named these three guys.
Thought they
But-
did, this guy.
They might.
But basically, he's being a smartass to PAX. And so he's like, is there something I can help you with? Yeah, sure you can, Orion PAX. And let's see what we got here. I'm trying to remember what those two's name is.
Well, they just listed one of them just earlier that was walked in on World beating him up.
Spring Arm.
Spring Arm, yeah.
Well, so where are they going to? Pre-war Cybertron.
I think they're on patrol.
Okay.
Yeah, they were on patrol and they're found later.
Yeah,
'Cause there's
complaining
something
about
more-
not finding anything.
He's incredible. For the first time since you and I were posted here, I feel like we're making a difference, changing lives. Does that sound lame? Hell yeah. Good. Let's go tell your hero the good news. The dead end is dead quiet and the bad guys are nowhere to be. What in the name of the primal wellspring is going on? And I think they're going to touch on that little piece on his face
Yeah,
right there.
right there.
I think they're going to touch on that coming up. There you are. I tried to call you, but the comms are scrambled. Must be the storm. Look at that. Just the drawing on PAX there. So
Yeah.
good.
Looks like Pac's been busy.
Yeah, he apprehended all those guys and they're coming back empty-handed.
Yeah, they definitely don't show Orion PAX doing it. Yeah, he's just here and he's got them all. What are you looking for? Or what are you looking at me like that for? I got restless. I need to be out. You can help me get this sorry bunch into the cells. Now, I wonder if they're the ones responsible for the attack on Nominus. Or maybe not.
Maybe. I think it covers it a little bit later on whenever
Okay.
you deal with Nominus.
Okay. Off to round up more bad guys? It's just something I need to get out of my system, Spring Arm. When did it get into your system? I mean, you're really going for it today. Remember the miner from Tarn? The one with the data pad? Megatron with an R? He was convinced that the Senate was institutionally corrupt. It was all in his writings. He had 3 questions. He wanted to put them put them if he ever got the chance, and the more I think about it. You all right, Captain? Well,
Yeah, I
you were
think
on
we're going to
patrol.
come back
Go
to
ahead.
those 3 questions later.
Say what?
I think we're going to come back to those 3 questions later.
Okay. While you were on patrol, I was paid a visit by some rather unsavory characters, part of the Senate security detail, judging from their design, Sentinels men. Oh, which means what? That Megatron was right? And Pax says, that's just it. I mean, a corrupt Senate? I can't countenance that. I just can't. This is going to sound stupid, but when I'm feeling, what's the word, disquieted? Is that a word? When I feel disquieted, I try to channel the wisdom of the Matrix. It helps me find the peace. I'm not religious, Primus, mortalist, adaptus, all that stuff. I remember being convinced.
Remain to be convinced.
I remain to be convinced. You believe in the Matrix, surely. Of course, but as far as I'm concerned, and this is Pax speaking, and I say this with the greatest respect, it's just a bauble. A powerful symbol. Absolutely, but nothing more than that. Now I feel embarrassed. The primal prophecies, the underbase, you probably think they were all made up by the Knights of Cybertron. I'm not even sure I believe in the Knights of Cybertron, says Pax. Thank you, Spring Arm, sincerely. But I think I'll work through my disquiet in a more hands-on way. Now, I have questions right here. And I'm really sorry if this one's going to go on a little bit long, but there's some important stuff in here. How the hell does he have any kind of knowledge. It's like he has the Matrix, spring arm.
Oh,
No.
so the Matrix, it has been treated as a symbol of power, a symbol of religion, a symbol of higher calling by the primes. And the primes are treated as like king or queen, like head of state. But the Senate is like parliament where they really run the show. And the prime is just put up on a pedestal to be a scapegoat.
Yeah,
But all
the Holy
things, the
Grail.
will of the prime.
You know,
Go
it's
ahead,
like the
Rob.
Holy Grail. It's a religious artifact, but one that they possess, and the leader is the one that possesses it, or something like that.
Right. He's the one that's chosen by the guiding hand. The guiding hand are the 5 original robots before the original 13 primes. You read 3 of them: Adaptus, Mortalis. Shoot, I can't remember. But there's Prima or Prima, however you want to pronounce it. Mortalis, Adaptus.
Primus?
What's that?
Go
You
up
say
real quick. Mortalis, Adaptus, and there's a third one that we were just on it last page.
I thought it was Primus.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not Prima. It's Primus, Mortalis, Adaptus. Go down. There it
you
is. So
Yeah.
those are 3 of them. There's 2 others, and I can't remember their name, but they will get to them. But the 5 of them are called the Guiding Hand, and before the Guiding Hand was just Primus. Primus split his personality into 5.
Everybody does know the spring arm has the Matrix on his face.
Right. And that's the religious group that basically keeps people like Springarm thinking within this frame of mind. Because, you got these guys up here controlling this frame of mind, which helps keep and subjugate the miners and everyone else on the lower end.
So Orion Pax right now currently is an atheist.
Yes.
He doesn't believe in everything that people are connected to and believe that that's the life of everything. Right. Wow,
That's good. That's good. Because that's what they wanted to convey with us right there. We're seeing just how different people actually become and what they were.
Yep. They're definitely using religion to control the lower end of the masses, like we see today with religions controlling people's thoughts.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just because we have deep conversations in ID and Dub hangouts and shit. So yeah, absolutely. It's weird how the comics, whoever the writer, I know you guys mentioned the writer in the beginning. I forgot his name.
James Roberts.
Yes, has that whole mentality and breaks it down and puts it into Transformer.
He covers a lot.
That's cool.
He writes, and it's nice to see. We're seeing a robotic civilization that's supposed to be far more advanced than us, having the same kind of problems as we always have, and we're supposed to be primitive.
Right.
So it's neat to see the ever-arcing evil of society lasts well beyond us.
Yeah, and it changes. Like the people who started out being good end up evil, and then the people who end up being evil end up being good. It's like you kind of see transformations along the way with a story this long.
Impactor put it pretty well. You put 2 people in a room, one of them is going to try and assert themselves over the other given enough time.
Yeah, we got 4 people in the room. Who wants to assert dominance?
Pat, you can take it. I'll just watch and drink my beer.
He's playing that pacifist thing. He's going to wait for the 3 of us to beat each other down and get tired, and he's going to Royal Rumble us right over the rope. WrestleMania.
I'm going to drink my beer and smoke my weed, man, and just fucking watch. I think I got the pacified over me.
Yeah.
This part here, Bragg, I might need you to go through because I was kind of a little disoriented when I, like right here, because this is important. They just show like something just right in the middle of something happening.
Yeah. So Pax was out doing his thing. Notice he's carrying 2 bodies in. He was out doing some more arresting. He's coming back to his office right now, and he has found that wheel arc and spring arm are dead. So he's going into his office armed.
Damn, they're decapitated?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
He was just talking to Spring Arm.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And he spent the rest of the evening arresting people. The 3 thugs from Sentinel's men from the Senate are there. Yeah, so now we have a little bit of proof of a corrupt Senate.
Holy shit.
Look at Pax, man. Pax,
look at him. He's fucking gorgeous.
Badass.
All of a sudden, he got the Matrix and got bigger.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Look at him guns.
He's channeling the Matrix.
Yeah. He's hulking up. He's hulking up. He's Ultimate Warrior. He's shaking the ropes.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
World.
Yeah, you got it. Take us through this. You got this good here.
Yeah. So he's in. Notice there's 2 of them, but Whirl. And they've got Whirl. They know what Whirl did to Megatron. Obviously, he got reported, and he's saying, "Please, Captain, it wasn't my idea. You're a liar. You're all liars. Wait, there were 3 of you." And right there in the back, he gets shot.
Yeah, looks like a pretty good shot too.
Yeah, he goes down and shoots Whirl. Quick thinking, because he doesn't want anyone to escape. Notice Whirl's in cuffs, and there's the guy behind him getting ready to off him. Doesn't like faceplates. So give him the leg sweep. Always got to do the leg sweep.
Oh, nice.
Sweep the leg.
And then he runs. And where's he going? He's going to get all his other stuff that he hides in his trophy case, because he's got weapons that he hides. So he's at the back of his office. He's grabbing another gun. Oh. He's getting ready to powerhouse him.
Look at this. We got to take another moment here just for the damn.
I had a pack-scasm right now.
Yeah, yes. Look at that hole in his back. He doesn't even phase him.
I'm incognito. I'm originally Pax. I just took on the name Pack for disguise.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So he's hiding. He's down. Click. It's empty. He ducks behind his desk as they're firing on him. They're, talking about his commendations and awards and how useful they are now.
They're talking shit.
Yeah. And he starts throwing the sugar cookies at him. The auto goes. Ninja stars. So he did that. Got him to back off a little bit, because now they think he's actually armed a little bit. And he's trying to think of a way to escape. They're trying to think of a way to go ahead and rush him. And this is where he decides that has to defile Spring Arm's body. And he forces Spring Arm to transform by spinning his transformation cog, basically.
Sweet.
So they're like, "What's that? An engine growling at us?"
Shit. Got it.
Good move.
So here he is riding a dead transformer in alt mode. I don't know how that works.
Let's have a minute. Let's have a minute to think about a transition here. Pax is going through. We heard earlier when he was talking to somebody. I think it was Spring Arm. Spring Arm basically saying, "Why so aggressive lately?" It's like Pax is going through this phase where he's getting. It seems like he's getting angry and he's wanting to do more. And it's because when I saw this, I'm like, "That's brutal." But I mean,
he's getting angry with the Senate. The more and more corruption he's seeing. He's got the mentality that I can't let this transgression stand. He's realizing that he's got to go up against the Senate.
Well, also that's why he keeps weapons hidden behind his fucking trophy case, just in case. And how does he know that you can fucking turn a transformation cog and make it fucking work on a dead dude? Because he's heard that story before, so he knows how to fucking do it.
He's very educated.
Yeah, he's like MacGyver right now.
So he's studied some under Ratchet as well, like just some medical pieces. So he kind of knows a few things about anatomy. He's very studied.
Ooh, we got an upper fucking gut punch right here.
Yeah. So look how big that guy is to Orion Pax.
It'd be sick if he fucking
Go ahead.
If he fucking gut punches him, grabs his transformation cog, and forces him to transform. That'd sick.
But I think we underestimate how strong and powerful Pax is. We know Megatron is a badass.
Yeah.
They're showing us just how much of a badass that Pax is.
Yep. Yeah,
That's the
because the
first
size
thing I
difference
noticed right
there
here.
with
How
Pax
big
and
this
that
guy
guy.
was. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, with Pax and that guy, the size difference there is almost the same size difference as Megatron and Sentinel Prime. So he easily is taking out bots much bigger and beefier than him.
I really think they are very, very equal in intellect and strength.
Yeah, they just came from different
Yeah,
places.
I think it also is just grit and determination, and those other guys are really just bullies. And once they have somebody standing up to them, they're like shocked.
Yep, and notice
All
it says you have the right to a Zarin approved defense attorney. Zarin is kind of like the head legal guy. What do they call that on those cop movies and stuff?
Miranda rights or something.
Like the state.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Basically the lawyer that's over all the other lawyers in the state.
the
district attorney.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. But for Cybertron in all Zarin, that's Zarin.
All right.
So they're having their fight. This guy's way bigger than Pax also. I mean, he's ducking down, but you can tell he's bigger. He breaks off his key.
Look at this. This is badass.
I'm telling you, grit. I mean, somebody's willing to do that.
Go ahead, Brian.
He just breaks it off and right into the mouth. I mean, it's just a shiv at that point.
He got shanked. I mean, I'm just gonna. That has to hurt.
Shank, give me shank.
So man, so as soon as Pax walks in on this whole thing, what really revved him up and got him going, he already saw that his guys were dead, so he's suspicious. When he saw Whirl, that's when in his mind, in my opinion, he's confirmed Senate's done wrong. Something's got to be done. So he's done something about it, which is why he shot Whirl in the leg. He plans on making it out of there and marching right into the Senate or to Zeta Prime or Sentinel Prime. So here he is. Whirl's down, trying to crawl away. He's taking care of business, and he picks him up and heads right to the Senate.
Look what this motherfucker fucking did.
Yep. So we will not sit idly by while terrorists try to undermine our way of life. The attack on Nominus Prime will not go unpunished. So we got the Senate sitting here having their council meeting. They're talking about their way of life, the way that they have chosen for everybody on the planet. So they're basically just putting up a lawful front. So our head of security is weeding out culprits. In the meantime, we protect the populace by clamping down. So this is where they're suggesting the clamp down, which is basically a totalitarian government. Curfew, lockdowns, nobody gets to do anything without the Senate basically approving it within certain time frames. So 100% complete control of the populace for their own good.
Yeah,
for their own safety.
Read that. Tell me what's wrong with it.
How relative is that to what we're fucking going through right now?
Yeah. Freedom is the right of all civilized beings. Define civilized. Does that require an education?
What does Pax say? What does Optimus Prime say?
Sentient beings.
Yeah.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
This looks like the Matrix. I see the Matrix right here. Just this big old thing with this.
Yep.
Or Vector Sigma.
I saw Unicron.
Right.
Yeah, Unicron.
So as we all know, last time we seen Sentinel Prime was in the future when Megatron defeated him. So we get to see him here again.
Yep.
Look at that crest, though. Shit.
Yeah. All right. So what we got? Sorry to disturb you, Sentinel, but we have a perimeter breach. Someone wanted to address the Senate and wouldn't take no for an answer. Arrest him and be done with it. I'm trying to watch Senator
Proteus.
Proteus make a speech that'll change everything. We'll restrict passage across our orbital borders. We'll round up the agitators and the dissidents. We'll detain anyone without a valid serial code. Curfews, containment, capital punishment, whatever it takes. Sir, I've been told that our visitor has just taken apart a full squadron and he's heading this way. Yeah, he done took them apart. He busted their ass. Then he didn't shank them. I'm talking about Pax, right?
Yeah.
Well, here we see Ratbat. We did see him in Megatron Origins.
Yep. So we've seen Senator Proteus, Senator Decimus in Megatron Origins, Senator Ratbat, and yeah, that's all the senators we've actually seen.
I feel it's really important to cover this ending real good because it's very important. Senator Proteus is right. And if the clampdown means that the general populace must forego some of their freedoms, well, it is but a small price to pay for their safety. And remember, we also have an opportunity to shut down those organizations who have been hostile towards us in the past. Triple M, Cybertopians, the Malware Brigade, they should all be locked up.
Shutting them up.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? Sir, I'm afraid that he's dead. Tell me he's dead. He is not dead. He's here. And Pax addresses them, says, esteemed members of the 113th Cybertronian Senate, honorable dissidents of the progenitors and custodians of the sacred primal lineage. I want a world with you.
Look at his face.
That. Yeah.
Look at his stomach, dude. His stomach, his leg. It's fucked up.
Half a faceplate to me is very symbolic of half Prime, half Pax. Like he's already stepped up. Which I get he was wearing a faceplate through the whole thing. But that just seems like a very good reminder of just how brutal he went through to get here.
I mean, we have been watching for a while now. We've been covering this. We started out with Megatron Origins, what was going on with him. Then we're doing a heavy arc into how Pax is transitioning to become the Prime. Everyone hold your fire. I want to see how this pans out. You dare interrupt the Senate in private session? Evidently.
I love that.
Yeah. Hey, evidently, bitches. This is Whirl. He broke the law. Associates of yours warned me to overlook that fact. I didn't, and 2 officers died as a result. I want you to look at him and realize that even the smallest actions have consequences. You sit in session, detached from the real world, giving orders designed to keep the rest of us in check. And if anyone steps out of line, if anyone thinks a rogue thought, you tighten the screws. And I didn't even realize this until I met a miner from Tarn. A friend who had so much to say that he couldn't find the words. A miner by design, but not by choice. He wanted the freedom to choose his own fate, not have it decided for him by a ruling elite who presume to know best. You do it because you are terrified of anything you can't control. They have a name for us. You know, other races looking down, mapping our progress, they call us Autobots. I've often wondered about that name, and now I realize the auto comes from automation. One who leads
Automaton.
a routine. Say what?
Automaton.
Oh, see, I need that hooked on phonics shit. Okay.
No, I read the same thing you did.
Yeah. Who leads a routine, monotonous life. And that's all we are to you, isn't it? Automations. Automatons.
Yep.
Our lives ever more circumscribed from birth to death, ignition to burnout. It doesn't have to be like this. All of us, we can be so much more. Autobots, autonomous, free-thinking masters of our own destiny. As you can see, crowds getting worked up. So as of today, as of right now, I am laying claim to that name. Henceforth, I am an Autobot. And it's Autobots like me who will outlive institutions like this, one, unless you're changing your ways. Sentinel, remove him. My friend's name was Megatron, and he had 3 questions. 3 things he said you should demand to know of any powerful institution. Question 1, in whose interest do you exercise your power? You've said enough, come along. Question 2, Pax ain't done. He's going to have his talk. Question 2, to whom are you? Just let me finish. To whom are you accountable? 3, how can we get rid of you? I didn't catch his name. It doesn't matter. You won't be seeing him again. So they take him off. What do you think they're taking him off to do? Arrest him or something else?
Send him off on a fucking ship.
Send him to Siberia.
Well, so it goes through Megatron Origin, and even though that was written out of order in like the times of DW, we do see that Orion Pax was in there for the death of Bumper and Fastback, but then we don't see him again until Spotlight Orion Pax, where his buddies Zeta and Alpha Trion are helping him out. Where he was put was in the library. He was just like Alpha Trion. He becomes Alpha Trion's student. And he is basically there to catalog and keep the history, but he's not to be seen or heard from. So they lock him up.
We see Pax talking to, who is this?
That
It's another senator.
That's Senator Shockwave.
This is Senator Shockwave, right?
This is Senator Shockwave. Same one-eyed purple Cyclops you're thinking of, but this is him before later.
Wow.
Yes,
we get Cyclops.
We get to even more in the future. We get to even go ahead, Ron.
I said he has an event. Things will happen in his future.
Yeah, I read that. I like that one a lot. I thought that was interesting how he got changed over, but I didn't know he looked like that because he's kind of got that Starscream, the things on the side of his head right there.
Yeah,
and then the chest kind of looks like a Starscream fucking.
Yeah, he's got the crest and the shoulder pauldrons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's a teacher at the academy and a senator, very educated, obviously, a student of G-Axis and study of his sciences. He doesn't necessarily agree with the Senate either and kind of sees it for what it is. And that's why he's getting involved with Pax now.
Okay, so we see Pax and Senator Shockwave having a discussion here. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me. It's the least I could do. I gather I owe you my freedom. It wasn't easy, but I couldn't see a Cybertronian of your caliber get locked up in Garrus 1, or worse, sent to the Institute. You're a senator, aren't you? You were in the crowd when I held forth. Why did you save me after my diatribe? Because you were right, and because you were wrong, the Senate is worse than you've been led to believe. The attack on Nominus Prime was orchestrated by a faction within the Senate. Not that I can prove it yet. If Pax says, if that's true, why would they do that? So they'd have an excuse to move Nominus Prime into hiding, so they'd have unfettered access to the Matrix so they could find out how it creates life. The Matrix can create life? The Knights of Cybertron called it the Creation Matrix. If certain members of the Senate can control the Matrix, they can control anything. There's a war coming, Orion. A war that will split this world in two. Battle lines are being drawn. Sides are being taken. It's just a matter of time. And what's the role in all of this? I'm sorry, and what's my role in all of this? What do I do? You're a cop. Go back to work. Don't worry, I'll be in touch. Wait, before you go, I feel different physically. You did more than just repair me, didn't you? While you were offline, I gave orders for you to be modified. Nothing to worry about. We merely created some extra space. You're a deep thinker, Optimus. Next time you're alone, I suggest you reflect on what's happened these last few days. You ask what your role is in all of this. Look inside yourself, and you might find the answer. And that is the end of number 23.
Wow. That was a good one, actually. I like that.
Yeah. So everything that you saw there, like at the end, it's very critical to remember all of that. It comes up later. So, but notice he was modified for the Matrix, so he could hold the Matrix in his chest.
Well, I have a question. I'm gonna pull Marcos at the end. I have lots of questions anyway, but Senator Shockwave tells him to go on and be a cop. How can he go on being a cop serving when the Senate just wanted him off? Do you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I thought they put him in the library permanently, but thinking on that, I'm completely wrong on that. I know he's a student of Alpha Trion, and he does study a lot in the library from this point on. But yeah, this leads directly into autocracy. So he doesn't really go on to be a cop.
Well,
he goes straight into autocracy.
He pissed Sentinel Prime off pretty good.
Yeah.
Later on in Megatron Origins, we kind of see him in a crowd.
Yeah. I think he is just a cop with no power, no position, just a cop. That's it.
So I'm wondering if though.
But then you get him in Spotlight Orion Pax, where him and Alpha Trion go to the Rust Spot to save Ratchet, and his buddy Zeta, now Zeta Prime, is the one that chose him to do the job. So Sentinel Prime's dead. Somehow Zeta was upped into power, so that's the reason he's been allowed to do anything from that point on. I don't know what he was doing during Megatron Origin. He could have not been allowed to do anything until Zeta got to power.
Nominus Prime didn't die in that segment.
That you know of.
They did not. The next thing we know, now I have a question. Number 22 is before Megatron Origins.
Yes.
Is number 23 after No, it can't be after Megatron Origins because Sentinel Prime dies.
Yeah, it's before.
Okay. So both do take direct place in there. Yeah, if he pissed them off so bad, I wonder still how he was able to be a cop, because the Senate is still in control of the police force.
Right, but maybe being a cop is so under the radar that you don't really detect that he's a cop. That he's not the police chief. He's not the fucking sergeant. He's just a fucking beat cop, you know. So maybe the Sentinels or Sentinel Prime's not like has no radar for that, you know.
Well, also he realizes that if he goes back into the Senate and tries to do something like that, they are going to arrest him and throw him in prison or take him to the institute.
Yeah, so they give him like one little chance, be like, it's fine, good, let him be a cop. But if he fucks up one more time,
so he's like biding his time, trying to do as much good as he can.
I think that's where he seeks counsel from Alpha Trion, as he starts learning as much as he can about the past and the historiological archives that Alpha Trion has been keeping.
I think he's put everyone on notice that he means business.
Yeah, and now he's been gagged.
He's been gagged, but he's also met the right people to help him out.
So we don't see him do anything until after Megatron Origin, after Sentinel's dead, after the Senate is dead. So after that, it's Zeta Prime, who is friends with Optimus. So then you get to see him back in action in Spotlight Orion Pax, Spotlight Blur, and then Autocracy.
Yeah. And like we've seen everywhere, he's not a chump. He's not made out to be a chump, even like Marcos point out in Spotlight Orion Pax. When Bludgeon was talking to him when he was strapped to that missile, Pax didn't quiver. Pax didn't try to plead for his life. He was just like, he was fucking back with Bludgeon.
Yep.
So, I mean, now you can both. We always knew that Megatron was oppressed, and they tried to keep him down, and they beat him. Now we can see that the same thing has happened to Pax.
I just thought of something. So, just a side note, Zeta is his friend before he becomes Zeta Prime. A little bit of a spoiler, but Zeta also has a matrix chamber. Right after Sentinel Prime is dead, Zeta ascends, Spotlight Orion Pax, Zeta gives him a new body without a matrix chamber. And then in Autocracy, he's back in his old body with the matrix chamber. I wonder if Zeta did that on purpose.
Yeah,
His chest is that solid glass piece. And maybe I'm completely wrong because they never show any of that. Maybe they just put new armor on him and then put other armor on him. But it would be interesting to know, like, if he purposely got rid of Optimus or Pax's body to try and prevent him from ever having the Matrix by taking away his Matrix chamber. And then Pax goes back to his old body after his new one gets destroyed, because Zeta knows he has a Matrix chamber. We find out in a later comic that Shockwave told Zeta to find Optimus, and they become friends, and they both find out they have Matrix chambers from Shockwave. So kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
I have to keep track of that, keep that in mind whenever we're going forward here to see if we can, if we can see if there's any of that going on in the background.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I know this one was a longer than what we normally want to do, but there was some really important stuff that needed to be done. So, I mean, we're not always going to sacrifice time for content. So, I mean, this one's a little bit long. Find yourself watching it segments if you need to, some here, some there, but there's some really good stuff in here. Where did Marcos go?
I don't know. He's somewhere.
Oh. He's going to come back and we're going to be off air. Where did everybody go? Oh, there he is.
I heard that last part. No, I was
but it was longer than I like him to be. But as you can see, there's so much setup that needs to be done. And I did suggest to people, like, watch it in 15-minute segments here and there just throughout. And, because
I had one request. Can I see what Alex Milne looks like?
What he looks like?
Yeah, can you pull up a picture of Alex Milne?
Yeah, let's see. Canadian comic book artist, Alex Milne.
Canadian.
Dude, did they not kill that art in those issues? Great.
Share screen. And this dude right here.
You have to let him share screen, Pack. Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at him.
Yep.
Fucking artiste.
Yep.
Fucker. Fucking a mind of a fucking genius.
This might be a more recent picture of him, maybe an older picture. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe a younger picture of him.
Shit.
Damn, multi-talented. Look, he's got Sagat right there. Looks like he's probably drawn.
Wow.
He He definitely deserves some shine. Go ahead,
Yeah.
God
Marcus.
damn.
I would have a T-shirt that says "I'm Alex Milne, bitch."
God damn. Such good art.
All right. Well, with that being said, it's time. Do you guys have anything you want to say?
No, I'm good. Stay tuned till next time.
Yeah, next time autocracy.
Yep. So I want to say thanks to Marcos, Car Ramrod, King of Lore, but it's time for us to make like a baby